This demo describes how a highly privileged HR professional generates a promotion roster in IPPS-A. The ability to create rosters in IPPS-A is reserved to a very few, specifically HRC for the active, USARC for the reserve, and NGB for the GAR. In order to correctly generate a semi-centralized roster, a highly privileged HR professional must understand the semi-centralized promotion timeline. Here is a diagram that describes how one complete cycle of the semi-centralized promotion process for the active and the reserve, with the pin-on date of 01 October, should look like. Note that the GAR semi-centralized promotion process remains unchanged and is not covered in this demo. A complete semi-centralized promotion cycle lasts for 2 months, 1 month, 2 months, and has 2 parts: Promotion Consideration Roster, or PCR, and Promotion Recommended Roster, or PRR. The PCR occurs on the first month of the 2-month cycle and is broken down into 3 parts. 1 August to 11 August is the pre-board period. 12 August to 29 August is the board period. 29 August to 31 August is the post-board period. Pre-board. During the pre-board period, the following actions take place. HR reviews the roster and, if needed, works with members to update their records in preparation for promotions. HR notifies the company commander that the roster is ready for their action. The company commander or the delegate reviews and recommends or not recommends members to go in front of the promotion board. Board. During the board period, the following actions take place. HR enters the board date in the roster for each member who is recommended to go in front of the promotion board. Board is conducted outside of IPPS-A. Once the promotion board is completed, HR enters board results in the roster in IPPS-A. HR notifies the approval authority that the roster is ready for their action. For the active, the approval authority is usually the battalion commander. The approval authority or delegate reviews and approves board results. Post-board. The post-board period begins 3 days prior to the promotion point's cutoff date. The promotion point cutoff date is always the last day of the month. During post-board, HR reviews the roster and, if needed, works with members to update their records in preparation for promotions. At the end of PCR, 2 things may occur. Members who are not selected for promotion automatically roll onto the next cycle's PCR in pre-board status. Members who are selected for promotion are integrated into the PRR. The PRR occurs on the 2nd month of the 2-month cycle and is broken down into 2 parts: promotion selection processing and announced promotion selection. From 1 September to 15 September, the promotion selection processing occurs. From 16 September to 30 September, the promotion selection list is announced. Promotion selection processing. During the promotion selection processing period, the following actions take place. On 1 September, the approved members integrated into the PRR from the PCR. Active members who are integrated into the PRR from this cycle, as well as those who did not get selected in previous cycles, are pushed to the Enlisted Promotion Module, or EPM. EPM is external to IPPS-A. Reserve TPU members who are integrated into the PRR from this cycle, as well as Those who did not get selected in previous cycles are pushed to the promotion, assignment, matching, or PAM. PAM is internal to IPPS-A. From 1 September to 15 September, EPM or PAM processes promotion selection, obtains approval of promotion selection, then pushes promotion selection to IPPS-A. EPM or PAM provides the promotion effective date for all members who are selected for promotion by EPM or PAM. Announce promotion selection period. During the announcing promotion selection period, the following actions take place. On 16th of September, the by name list of members selected by EPM or PAM is posted. HR reviews the roster in IPPS-A and, if needed, works with members to update their records in preparation for promotions. On 30 September, the last day of the PRR prior to the pin-on date, the last eligibility check is performed by the system. If passed, the member is promoted with the effective date of 01 October. In summary, at the end of the PRR, two things may occur. Members who are not selected by EPM or PAM remain in the PRR. Members who are selected by EPM or PAM are promoted if they pass the last check, otherwise they remain in the PRR. Let's create an active semi-centralized roster for promotion from E5 to E6 for a 1 January pin-on date. This demo describes how HR logs on to review promotion information through various menu options in IPPS-A. From the self-service landing zone, click on the navbar button, Navigator, Workforce Administration, Boards. Here is all the menus that HR has access to review various information about promotion in IPPS-A. The first option are the reports. Here are all the reports that are available for HR. When generated, these reports only return members under the HR's purview. For example, HR at the battalion level can see data of the entire battalion. HR at the company level can only see data of the company. More creation. All rosters that HR has access to maintain are displayed in the search results. Click on Wall Creation. Click on Search without entering any search parameters. The system will display all rosters that have been created for the compo that the HR has access to maintain. The ability to add a new roster is granted to a very few highly privileged users, such as HRC for the active, USAR for the reserve, and NGB for the guard. If HR clicks on the Add a New Value button, the Wall Creation page is displayed. Click on the Lookup button. HR sees all applicable wall templates available for the HR's compo. Click on any of the link. HR will see the error message indicating that HR does not have enough privilege to create a new roster for the HR's compo. Click OK to get out of the error and go back to Navigator. The next option is Wall Roster. All rosters that HR has access to maintain are displayed in the search results. If the search button is clicked without any search parameter, HR may narrow down the search by using any of the search parameters. Click on any link and the board roster page is displayed. On the board roster tab, all of the parameters that are used to create this roster is displayed. These parameters come mostly from the board templates that is used to create this roster. In this case, the board template is RAE5. Next to the board roster is the attachment button. This attachment button allows HR to add attachments to the roster. Note that attachments added here are for the entire roster. They are not specific to any individual member. Filter criteria is defaulted to show all service members checkbox as checked. HR may narrow down the search by using any of the search parameter in here by first unchecking the all service members checkbox. The roster instruction is hidden by default. Clicking on the information icon next to the roster instructions displays the instructions. The roster instructions provide explanations to frequently asked questions about the roster. The roster is displayed under the roster instructions once filter has been applied. In this example, I want to be able to view all of my service members in this roster. So I check the all service members checkbox and click on the filter button. Once the search is complete, the board rosters will be displayed underneath the roster instructions. The semi-roster has multiple tabs: candidates, job info, MOS info, and points. To display the entire roster in a single tab, click on the right arrow located to the right of the points tab. To reverse back to the 4 tabs, click on the left arrow located at the top of the board roster. In general, within the board roster, columns that are read-only indicate the member's current data. Editable columns represent data that can be maintained by HR at any particular board status. The entire roster can be sorted by clicking on any of the column header up here. For example, let's click on the position description column header. As you can see, the entire roster is now sorted by promotion description. One of the most important columns within the board roster is the comments column. This column displays all rules that the member is currently failing. For example, this member is currently failing the ABCP rule and the ACFT rule. The system looks at the rules in the board template that this roster is generated from. It runs them against the associated setup tables, then displays the results on the roster. Each rule that the member fails is displayed under the comments column. Notice that nothing is displayed for those who are fully eligible. The remarks column can be used to add remarks for each member. To add remark, simply click on the remark buttons associated with the member, and the board remarks page will be displayed. clicks on the X button to close out of the board remarks page. View SFPA. The View SFPA is a way for HR to quickly go into the restrictions module within IPPS-A. If HR has access to maintain and or view restrictions within IPPS-A, then the view link is enabled. Otherwise, all of these view links would be disabled. Clicking on this link direct HR to the restriction modules. Here is the restrictions modules within IPPS-A. To get out of the restrictions modules, click on the X to the right of the tab to go back to the roster. HR may customize this roster to make it easier for them to maintain the roster. For example, HR can click on the grid button at the upper left corner of the board roster. Click on Personalize, and the grid customization page is displayed. The tag candidates, employee ID, employee record, rank, and name are frozen in place. HR cannot rearrange those columns, but HR can rearrange any of the remaining columns to make their job easier. For example, HR may decide to push eligible up. HR can highlight eligible and click on the up arrow to move the column up. HR might want to know all rules that the members are currently failing. HR can click on comments and move it up. And HR might be interested in the current board results that the member has. So HR clicks on board results and move it up. Click on the X button to click on OK to get out of the grid customization page. As you can see, the board roster is now rearranged. Eligible, comments, and board results are pushed up toward the beginning of the roster instead of being scattered throughout the roster like before. HR can also search for a specific member in the roster by using the search functionality. Click on the lookup button, enter any search string. For example, YEN, click OK. And the system will try to find a row that has a value that matches with the string and display it at the top of the roster. Click on the navbar again, navigator, which we has just gone through the board roster option. The promotion points batch process is the next option that HR has access to. I don't want to make any change to the roster, so I click No to move to the promotion points batch process page. This menu allows HR to refresh promotion points for semi-centralized rosters only. The first time that HR accesses this page, HR can click on the search button and see that there is no run control ID created for this process yet. HR must create a run control ID, and then subsequently, the same run control ID can be used. HR does not have to create another run control ID again. Here are the steps to create a run control ID. Click on the Add a New Value button. Enter a name for this run control ID. This is the promotion points batch process, so name it promotion points or anything that makes sense to you. Click on the Add button. And here is the Run Control ID. Click Save. The confirmation message is displayed. Click OK. From now on, the promotion points is saved, and HR can keep reusing this Run Control ID to process promotion points for any semi-centralized roster. If HR click on the Board ID Lookup button, click on Search. All rosters that HR has access to will be displayed. There should be only one 2792 Board ID displayed here. HR can select the Board ID and click on the Run button. Go back to the Navbar navigator. The View Correct Promotion Data option is an existing Release 2 capability and relevant only to the GAR. This feature is not covered in this demo. Promotion assignment matching is relevant only to the reserve and the GAR. This feature is not covered in this demo. PAM Slate Dashboard is relevant only to the reserve and the GAR. This feature is not covered in this demo. This concludes the demo on how an HR professional can log in to review promotion-related information.